Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract cats effortlessly? It's as if they carry an invisible force that draws felines toward them. Maybe it's that one friend who walks into a room and suddenly has a cat curled up on their lap. Or perhaps you've seen your own cat show an unusual level of affection to certain guests. This isn't just luck or coincidence. Cats are far more discerning than many give them credit for. They don't randomly choose who to approach or bond with. Their choices are deliberate and often quite revealing. Contrary to popular belief, it's not just about who's offering the tastiest treats or the softest petting. While food and physical affection can help, the bond between a cat and a person runs deeper. Cats are complex animals, sensitive to energy, rhythm, and subtle behaviors. What seems like instant affection may actually be a response to specific signals a person gives off, even unconsciously. So, what exactly causes some people to become instant feline favorites? To understand this, we need to look at what traits cats actually seek out in humans. There's no single formula, but certain characteristics consistently stand out. And the most important starting point is personality compatibility. Believe it or not, cats are experts at reading people. They don't just react to what's on the surface. They respond to the energy someone carries. Much like humans, cats have distinct personalities. Some are outgoing, others are shy. Some crave attention, others prefer to observe from a distance. Naturally, they're drawn to individuals whose energy complements their own. For instance, a nervous or high-energy cat may find comfort in someone who exudes calm and composure. From the feline perspective, life is full of unpredictable noise and movement. Cars, conversations, appliances, unfamiliar scents. A person who steps into their environment with steady, quiet energy brings immediate relief. This sense of calm signals safety. It's not surprising, then, that cats gravitate toward emotionally balanced individuals. Those who don't impose, who observe more than they interfere, often create the ideal atmosphere for trust to flourish. If you're someone who approaches life with a relaxed, even-tempered attitude, you may already possess a natural magnetism when it comes to cats. Unlike dogs, who often crave exuberant enthusiasm, cats seek something subtler: stability. They want to know that your mood won't change in an instant, that your presence is dependable, not overwhelming. That reliability, even if unspoken, is something they instinctively recognize. But emotional energy isn't the only factor. The way a person moves, speaks, and occupies space also matters. Sudden gestures, loud tones, or intense staring can feel threatening to a cat. On the other hand, people who allow their movements to be gentle and their voices soft tend to put cats at ease almost immediately. It's a bit like learning an unspoken language, one made of pauses, soft tones, and thoughtful gestures. Whether someone is aware of it or not, cats pick up on all of it. Imagine walking into a room where a cat is already lounging. Do you kneel down, extend your hand, and call them excitedly? Or do you simply sit, giving them space to observe and decide on their own terms whether to approach? That difference is crucial. Those who don't rush the process, who let the cat make the first move, are far more likely to be embraced. It's not submission, it's respect. Many cat lovers learn this with time. Letting the animal set the pace is key. Felines value independence. They want to choose when and how to engage. And this brings us to another important trait: patience. The kind of person who doesn't demand attention, who's comfortable waiting, sends an important message. It tells the cat, "I see you. I'm here, but I respect your space." That kind of nonverbal communication builds trust far faster than reaching out impulsively. Interestingly, this mirrors how cats treat each other. In feline social behavior, direct confrontation is rare. Most interactions are slow and deliberate. They exchange signals, tail movements, blinking, postures, before getting close. A human who mirrors this approach, even unknowingly, appears more familiar, less intrusive. And for the cat, familiarity equals comfort. Now here's where things get even more fascinating. Recent studies suggest that cats can distinguish between people based on emotional cues, tone of voice, and behavioral patterns. In other words, they don't just recognize you visually or by scent. They remember how you made them feel. That means if your overall presence brings peace and predictability, you've already passed the first test. Of course, not all cats are the same. Some are social butterflies who will snuggle with anyone. Others take weeks or even months to fully trust a person. But across the spectrum, one pattern remains consistent. Cats prefer people who bring calm, who respect boundaries, and who allow relationships to unfold slowly. So if you've ever wondered why your neighbor's cat insists on sitting on your lap while ignoring everyone else in the room, it's not because you're lucky. It's likely because you're broadcasting the kind of emotional frequency that cats find irresistible. You're not chasing them, not trying to impress or bribe them. You're simply present, and that's more powerful than it sounds. This invisible connection, this unspoken bond, is built on subtleties most people overlook. But cats notice. They always notice. In the next section, we'll explore another key reason why some people form stronger bonds with cats: how the ability to respect feline autonomy impacts trust and affection. You might be surprised at just how intelligent and emotionally tuned in your cat really is. Stay with us. The signs of a strong human-feline connection are just beginning to unfold. Imagine life from the perspective of a cat. Every day is filled with unpredictable sounds, sudden movements, unfamiliar scents, and shifting surroundings. For a creature so finely tuned to its environment, this constant change can be overwhelming. That's why the presence of a calm, composed human makes such a profound difference. When someone enters their space with a gentle demeanor, quiet voice, slow movements, and no pressure to interact, it's like a moment of peace in a world of noise. That kind of presence becomes a sanctuary. Over time, this soft energy creates an unspoken agreement of safety and stability. Cats notice when someone doesn't demand attention but offers comfort simply by existing nearby. In that silence, trust begins to grow. If your natural approach to life leans toward the tranquil and patient, chances are you already possess a powerful trait that cats instinctively appreciate. Unlike other pets that may respond well to high energy or exuberant affection, cats seek calm. They're looking for environments and people that allow them to feel in control, unthreatened, and respected. This is where the quality of patience becomes one of the most valuable assets in building a relationship with a feline. Patience isn't just a virtue, it's a language cats understand. They don't rush into relationships. They take their time, test boundaries, and approach only when they feel secure. While dogs often attach themselves quickly to a new person, cats require a process. They prefer to be the ones who initiate contact. Sitting quietly in the same room, offering your presence but not your hand, is often more effective than trying to coax them with treats or forced affection. For them, love begins with choice, not obligation. Let's say you walk into a room where a cat is perched on the windowsill. The patient person will sit down calmly, read a book, and let the cat observe. The impatient person might rush over, call its name, or try to pet it right away. 9 times out of 10, the cat will avoid the latter and remain curious about the former. Why? Because patience respects the cat's process. It communicates, "I'm here when you're ready," and that kind of message resonates deeply. People who exhibit patience show they're willing to wait without imposing. That makes all the difference. It's not about being passive. It's about understanding boundaries. When a cat sees that you're willing to let the connection unfold naturally, they interpret that as a sign of emotional intelligence. You're no longer a stranger to be tolerated, but a presence to be trusted. And that leads us to another pillar of feline connection: respect for personal space. Cats are some of the most territorial and independent creatures in the animal kingdom. They need autonomy. It's not just something they want. It's embedded in their behavior and biology. Whether it's choosing when to eat, where to sleep, or who to interact with, having control over their space is essential to their well-being. When someone doesn't respect that autonomy, the cat retreats, sometimes physically, sometimes emotionally. Constant petting, picking up, or invading their safe zones can damage the bond, or prevent one from forming in the first place. In contrast, individuals who understand that sometimes no means not now are far more likely to be accepted into a cat's circle of trust. You've probably seen this dynamic in action without realizing it. A visitor walks into your home and immediately tries to pet your cat. The cat darts under the furniture. Another guest sits down, makes no effort to interact, and before long, the same cat is rubbing against their leg. This isn't a mystery. It's how cats communicate consent. They're looking for signals that say, "You won't overwhelm me." When they get that signal, they often initiate contact all on their own. Learning to interpret these boundaries is part of speaking cat. A slow blink can be a feline version of a handshake. It's a display of trust and peace. A tail flick might mean irritation. Turning their back to you isn't always a sign of disinterest. It can be a show of comfort, signaling that they trust you enough not to keep their eyes on you constantly. People who pick up on these cues naturally are often the ones cats feel safest around. Just like in human relationships, honoring someone's boundaries communicates respect. Cats remember who listens to them, even when they're not using words. They understand who pressures them and who lets them exist freely. Over time, they start to prefer those who allow them space to just be. And there's another layer to this dynamic. Cats live in a world of territory. Every room, every piece of furniture, every scent carries meaning. People who enter that space without disrupting it, who don't trample over their claimed zones or rearrange their comfort spots, earn more than just tolerance. They earn favor. Even the simple act of sitting still in a room, allowing the cat to explore you on their terms, sends a powerful message. It says, "I'm not here to take over your world. I'm just here to share it." That mindset transforms strangers into companions. Over time, with patience and consistency, that companionship can evolve into a deep, meaningful connection. In essence, cats teach us an important lesson. Relationships aren't built on instant gratification. They grow through time, respect, silence, and small signals. Being chosen by a cat isn't just about having food or toys. It's about becoming someone they feel safe with, someone who listens without speaking, someone who waits without expectation. In the next part, we'll look into how cats interpret human behavior as intelligence or threat, and what specific actions make someone not just liked, but truly trusted in the feline world. Imagine for a moment that you're trying to relax after a long day, but someone keeps hovering around you, talking, touching, interrupting your peace. You'd probably feel irritated, right? Now, place yourself in the paws of a cat. Their world is filled with sensory overload, smells, sounds, unpredictable human behavior. So when someone enters their space without respecting their need for autonomy, it's only natural they retreat or respond with defensiveness. Cats value their space with quiet intensity. It's part of their identity and their safety net. People who understand this don't crowd or chase. Instead, they hold back, wait, and create an atmosphere of quiet acceptance. And that subtle restraint speaks volumes to a cat. While many may try to win a cat's affection through persistent attention, the ones who succeed are often those who do the least, at least on the surface. Understanding feline comfort means paying attention to the smallest signals. Cats don't bark or shout when they're upset. They speak through motion. A gentle blink, for instance, is one of the most misunderstood but powerful messages a cat can send. Known among cat behaviorists as a slow blink, this gesture conveys relaxation and trust. If a cat blinks slowly at you, they're essentially saying, "I feel safe in your presence." Responding with your own slow blink can reinforce that feeling, like a silent conversation based on mutual respect. On the other hand, a quick tail flick, flattened ears, or a stiffened body are signs a cat isn't comfortable. These cues are their way of setting boundaries without confrontation. The more attuned a person is to these nonverbal expressions, the easier it is for a true bond to form. Recognizing these small but important movements isn't just helpful, it's essential. It shows that you're willing to meet the cat on their terms, to observe before acting, to ask, without words, "Is this okay?" That's what it means to speak cat. And those who do it well often find themselves favored, chosen, trusted. But the relationship between cats and their chosen humans doesn't stop at emotional comfort or physical safety. It goes further, into the realm of intellectual engagement. Yes, cats are intelligent, and not in a superficial way. They are problem solvers, explorers, observers, and they gravitate toward people who recognize and nurture that side of them. It's a common mistake to underestimate a cat's mental capacity. While they may not perform tricks on command or bring a ball back like a dog, their intelligence is expressed differently. Through exploration, observation, and subtle communication, they demonstrate an impressive understanding of their environment and of the humans in it. Felines appreciate mental stimulation. A person who provides new challenges, interactive play, or engaging objects doesn't just entertain a cat. They forge a deeper relationship. Think of a puzzle toy filled with treats, a homemade obstacle course, or simply a rotating selection of objects to investigate. These aren't just games. They're opportunities for your cat to use their natural curiosity and feel fulfilled. Even something as simple as a window perch where they can watch birds or passing cars can make a huge difference. It turns their environment into a dynamic experience. And the person who creates that kind of enriching space becomes associated with joy, excitement, and satisfaction. Over time, the cat starts seeing them not just as someone who's safe, but someone who adds meaning to their life. Let's say someone introduces daily hide-and-seek games, hides treats in different spots around the house, or teaches the cat to high-five using clicker training. The cat won't just look forward to those sessions. They'll start actively seeking out that person, anticipating the next opportunity to explore, play, and think. Through these interactions, the cat doesn't only use their body, but their brain, and in the process, they form a bond that goes beyond routine affection. This is how cats choose favorites, not based on how loud your love is, but on how enriching your presence becomes. There's also an emotional intelligence at play here. The person who provides stimulation without overwhelming, who invites play but doesn't demand it, who opens a door but doesn't force the cat through it, that person becomes a source of both excitement and safety. And that balance is rare. It's exactly what cats crave. By creating an environment that challenges their instincts while respecting their independence, you're speaking to every part of who they are. Their mind, their heart, their comfort. And while that might sound poetic, it's incredibly practical. Cats are constantly evaluating their surroundings, asking, is this safe? Is this interesting? Does this make me feel good? When the answer is yes, again and again, the bond solidifies. Of course, not all cats will respond in the same way or on the same timeline. Some take weeks to warm up, others take years. But the principles remain. When you respect their space and feed their curiosity, you give them reasons to keep coming back, to keep choosing you. And when a cat chooses you, it's not an accident. It's a sign that your energy, your patience, your attentiveness, and your ability to truly see them have made you worthy in their eyes. In the next part, we'll explore how consistency and routine play an often overlooked but critical role in building long-lasting trust with cats. Just as with people, reliability can be the bridge between comfort and deep emotional connection. When it comes to winning a cat's trust, one of the most underestimated factors is consistency. In the feline world, routine isn't just preferred, it's essential. Predictability offers comfort. For animals so sensitive to change, the presence of someone who behaves in a steady, reliable way can be the difference between emotional distance and genuine attachment. Cats thrive on stability. Whether it's being fed at the same time each morning or having a daily play session in the evening, they come to rely on rhythms. These routines help them feel in control of their environment. And the person who upholds that consistency becomes a point of emotional security. Think about it. A cat's day revolves around patterns. They notice your footsteps approaching the food bowl. They anticipate your return from work. They recognize the sound of the toy box opening. These aren't just habits. They're rituals that help the cat feel safe. So when someone maintains those rituals faithfully, it sends a clear message. You can count on me. And cats remember that. They don't just respond to affection. They respond to predictability. A person who greets them in the same tone each day, who doesn't suddenly change moods or routines, becomes a reassuring figure. Over time, that sense of safety evolves into trust. And trust in the feline mind is the true foundation of connection. But let's be clear. Consistency doesn't mean mechanical. It's not about robotic behavior or rigid schedules. It's about emotional steadiness, a reliable presence, a peaceful voice, a predictable rhythm that tells the cat, you are not alone, and nothing here will harm you. On the flip side, inconsistency breeds anxiety. Skipping meals, shifting tones, or unpredictable behavior can cause a cat to withdraw. What might seem like a minor disruption to a person can feel like a threat to a cat. So if your goal is to build a bond that lasts, embracing predictability is a powerful place to start. That brings us to another cornerstone of feline bonding: affection, but the right kind. While some animals respond well to loud praise and vigorous petting, cats operate on a completely different level. Their love language is subtle, their comfort zone is narrow, and their tolerance for over-affection is low. This doesn't mean cats aren't affectionate. In fact, many cats are deeply loving, but they express and receive love differently. A person who understands this, who knows how to offer affection in a way that matches the cat's emotional bandwidth, stands a much better chance of building a meaningful connection. Let's start with touch. Unlike dogs who might lean into a rough belly rub or chase after a hug, most cats prefer a softer approach. A gentle stroke on the top of the head, a slow scratch under the chin, a light hand down the back. These gestures, when done calmly and respectfully, create moments of bonding without overwhelming the animal. Even more important is knowing when to stop. Many well-meaning cat lovers make the mistake of pushing past the moment when a cat has had enough. The tail flicks, the ears tilt, the body tenses. These signs are not optional, they're communication. Ignoring them doesn't just ruin the moment, it erodes trust. True cat people pay attention. They read the room, or in this case, the cat. They wait for the invitation before engaging. They understand that affection is not about satisfying their own desire to cuddle, but about meeting the cat on its terms. And sometimes that means doing nothing at all. Some of the most meaningful feline connections happen in silence, sitting in the same room, breathing the same air, letting the cat come closer in their own time. It's not dramatic, it's not Instagram-worthy, but it's real. And for a cat, it means everything. Even voice matters. High-pitched squeals or sudden loud words can feel jarring, but a soft tone, a gentle greeting, a calm hello can make a cat's ears tilt in curiosity instead of flatten in fear. Speaking gently isn't just kind, it's a signal of emotional intelligence. It tells the cat, you're safe here. Affection done right also includes knowing when to offer space. There are moments when your cat wants attention, and others when they want solitude. The more you respect both states, the more they'll seek your company freely. It's not about always being there. It's about being available without pressure. It's also worth noting that some cats show affection in ways people often miss. A gentle nudge, a slow blink, sleeping nearby but not on top of you, following you from room to room without engaging. These aren't signs of indifference. They're quiet declarations of love. When someone recognizes and appreciates these subtle expressions, the bond strengthens. Ultimately, what cats crave is not excessive affection, but genuine understanding. They want to feel that you see them, not as a toy, not as a novelty, but as a sentient creature with moods, needs, and preferences. The person who honors those unspoken truths becomes more than just a human in the house. They become a trusted companion. In summary, it's not loud gestures or constant attention that build deep relationships with cats. It's consistency, it's calm energy, it's gentle, thoughtful affection, and above all, it's respect. Respect for their timing, their signals, and their individuality. Cats may seem mysterious, but they're remarkably consistent in what they value in people. If you're steady, kind, and attentive to detail, they won't just notice, they'll respond. In the next and final part, we'll explore how long-term bonds between humans and cats form over the years, what deep trust looks like, and how being chosen by a cat is one of the most, what kind of person earns the affection of a cat? By now, it should be clear. It's not about flashy gestures, loud enthusiasm, or trying to force affection. Cats are naturally drawn to individuals who embody a unique set of qualities: calm energy, patience, quiet respect, mental engagement, emotional consistency, and a gentle touch. These traits speak a language cats understand. A silent but powerful communication rooted in trust, safety, and presence. It might surprise some to learn that cats, often stereotyped as aloof or indifferent, are in fact deeply capable of forging lasting, meaningful relationships. But only when those relationships develop at the cat's pace and in the way that feels right to them. A cat doesn't give their loyalty easily. They test, observe, and wait. And when they finally choose you, it's not because you asked for it, it's because you earned it. That process may take weeks. For some cats, it takes months. But once the connection forms, it becomes something unique, something quietly profound. A cat's trust is one of the most honest things you'll ever receive. It can't be bought, it can't be rushed, and it cannot be faked. It must be felt, proven, and respected. Those who meet cats where they are, on their emotional level, discover that what may seem like a reserved animal is actually filled with curiosity, affection, and loyalty. You begin to notice the small moments that carry big meaning, the way they slowly blink at you from across the room, the soft brush of their tail against your leg, the way they sleep near you, not on you, but just close enough to show they trust your presence. That's how cats express closeness. It's not grand or showy. It's subtle, intentional, and deeply sincere. And there's something beautiful about a relationship built like that. In a world full of noise, instant gratification, and overexposure, cats remind us to slow down. They invite us to notice the unspoken, to observe, listen, and wait. Their companionship is a lesson in presence, mindfulness, and mutual respect. To be chosen by a cat is to be seen, not for what you say or how hard you try, but for who you are when you're quiet, still, and genuine. It's a reflection of the trust you've built, the space you've respected, and the consistency you've offered. Over time, you begin to realize that your cat doesn't just tolerate your presence, they seek it. They find comfort in your routine. They recognize your voice. They watch for your return. And although they may not leap into your arms with dramatic displays of affection, their connection runs deeper than most realize. They show love by following you from room to room, by sitting nearby, by bringing you their favorite toy. They communicate trust with every relaxed posture, every slow blink, every time they turn their back to you with ease. That's not indifference. That's vulnerability. That's comfort. And it all starts with you. With how you approach them, how you speak to them, how you wait without rushing, how you stay present without demanding. When a cat feels seen, heard, and safe, they open up in ways that few people expect. And the person who has the patience and heart to truly connect with a cat knows there's nothing quite like it. So if you've ever had a moment with a cat, a real moment, you know what this feels like. Maybe it was the first time a shy rescue finally climbed onto your lap, or the day your aloof feline rested their head on your hand for the first time. Maybe you didn't even notice the moment as it happened, only realizing later how significant it was. These small gestures are everything in the feline world. They are quiet, deliberate proofs of affection, and they come only to those who've taken the time to understand that trust must be earned, not expected. If you're someone who already embodies the traits cats admire, patience, calm, kindness, and respect, then chances are cats already feel drawn to you, and if not yet, then with a little intention and observation, you can become that person. Because connecting with cats isn't about changing who you are, it's about becoming more aware of how you show up in their world. So ask yourself, do you listen without words? Do you offer presence without pressure? Do you see them for who they are, not for who you want them to be? If the answer is yes, then you're already speaking the quiet language of cats. And perhaps the most rewarding part of all this is knowing that when a cat finally curls up beside you, it isn't just because you had a treat in your hand or called their name the right way. It's because you earned something rare and real, their trust. Before we close, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences with cats. Was there ever a moment when one chose you, unexpectedly and unforgettably? These stories matter. They remind us that connection doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and only those paying attention truly hear it. If this message resonated with you, and you'd like to continue exploring the remarkable inner world of feline behavior, we invite you to stay with us. There's so much more to discover about what makes cats who they are, and what makes us the people they choose. Until then, give your cat a little extra affection today, on their terms. Observe their signals, respect their space, and most of all, appreciate the quiet, beautiful bond you share. Let us know in the comments if you've ever experienced a moment where a cat unexpectedly let you in. And if you found this content insightful, consider subscribing for more thoughtful reflections on the mysterious and magical connection between humans and their feline companions, meaningful connections you can experience.